Everyone, I haven't spoken online for 2 weeks now, and I felt this urge to do a video tonight because I've bought some stuff since then, and I just want to update a little bit on my previous reviews. And tonight I'll be discussing my top 3 fragrances for 2010. They are not necessarily those that I would wear, but I love smelling them. Right, so coming in at number 3 is a fragrance that I mentioned in review number 7 called Shalimar. I didn't have the eau de toilette concentration back then, but I do have it now. This is the golden 60s bottle, and you can notice that the color is darker than the current formulation, mainly because of the age, but also because back then they did not stinge or cut corners on ingredients, right? So this is a very strong concentration, and I bet you, and I know for a fact that it is much more concentrated than the current day eau de parfum, which I already have and I've compared. Now this one, from the get-go, it is the usual citrusy bergamot tartness, right, which evolves surprisingly in a very complex manner after application, right? So after the citrusy tartness at the opening, with a tinge of smokiness, you can actually smell a bit of the resinous character of Shalimar. It then becomes a bit creamy at the center with the vanilla, with the burnt vanilla quality, and it is a bit more dessert-like, right, compared to the beginning. And towards the end of the duration, it becomes ambery, smoky, and very, some people say sensuous, right? But it is really a very complex and has good evolution on my skin, right, which was very surprising for the EDT concentration. I also said that I wanted to get the X-ray from the 60s to 80s, so I managed to get one for good price. This is the 1 ounce size, and you can see that the color of the juice is like tannin in tea. This tells you, this prepares you for the resinous nature of this fragrance. So this is very resinous fragrance. It has the usual lemon and bergamot zing at the beginning, but the resins quickly push through, and it gives this fragrance a lot of character, right, and a lot of depth, right? It becomes creamy in the middle as well, but it's even more smoky than the eau de toilette, and it becomes almost leathery because of the resinous nature of this, right? And with the amber and the vanilla and a bit of rose and iris thrown in, right? So the iris also makes it a little bit powdery in the dry down, but this is a really exotic and beautiful scent, right? I really changed my opinion a lot. I didn't think highly of this until I had gotten this concentration and the EDT that I showed you just now. Okay, so this is my number 3. Coming in at number 2 is also by the House of Guerlain, their legendary Mitsoko, right? So this is a 2 ounce bottle. Although it is sealed, over the years it has evaporated until there's only about probably a third of an ounce, right, inside this bottle. It's really peachy at the beginning, right? Peachy with this dank green note, almost like you are smelling the forest floor. You're walking in a very dense jungle. It has just rained, and it is this dank, wet jungle of forest floor vibe about it, right? The Page aldehyde C14 actually gives it a very it actually stings your nose almost, right? This is for the parfum or extrait. And I got another quarter-ounce bottle. So yes, it is this bitter or sour peach note, right? Some people say there's like peach skin or even the pit of a peach at the beginning, and this is what this is the note that drew me to this fragrance in the first place. So I really love it, right? So much so that it's my second favorite. It lasts quite a long time, and it evolves into a bit of woody character while still maintaining the greenness towards the end, right? So it is a very complex and very fabulous fragrance with a gorgeous dry down, right? You must really try this one. Okay, finally, my favorite fragrance for 2010. I don't think it will change much my preferences because there are only 2 months to the end of the year. Recently I acquired my first eau de cologne concentration of L'Air Blue, right? It has this olive green kind of tinge. This one, although it's an eau de cologne, it is from the 70s, just like the bottle of Charlemagne that I showed you. The characteristic box that says copyright 1967. I can't see it very well, but this is from the 60s or 70s, and it's really very strong because although it is sealed, you can smell it from the cap, right? Even under the plastic, and even though it is screwed very tightly on. It has the same vibe as the parfum that I discussed in my previous review. Of course, it isn't so strong. It is a different kind of sweetness. There's no duskiness or even muskiness in this concentration, right? It is more how do you say, translucent or maybe even transparent and very bright, but it's the same kind of complex candy sweetness, which is not cloying but very mysterious and dark, right, for eau de cologne. I also got today a rosebud bottle from the 50s or 60s, which is about half full. Now this one is really a scent to behold. If you have never tried this, I really urge you to go out and try it, right? You may not be able to get your hands on one of these. They are pretty rare, but it has this dark reddish juice that reminds you of cherries. So it has this ingredient called heliotrope, which I believe comes which is actually a cherry scent, right? A synthetic cherry scent. It has this synthetic ingredient called methyl antranolate, right? I hope I pronounced it correctly. That it shares with the scent is of it's a sickly sweet scent that reminds you of a rotting carcass, right? But fortunately, this one doesn't smell anything like a rotten carcass because it has other notes thrown in as well. Jasmine, I think Bulgarian rose. There's a bit of aldehydes at the beginning, but the candied sweetness that comes out of this is also due to florals, right, including carnation, rose, as I mentioned, and other things thrown in, right? So this is a very evocative fragrance, right? Makes you think of the past, makes you nostalgic perhaps, and it makes some people feel sad or blue, but like I said in my previous review, it does no such thing for me. I really am uplifted by this, and I really feel very optimistic about life after I smell this. I put some on about 5 hours ago. It's a bit powdery now, but the lingering sweetness is there. It's very strong at the beginning, and just full of character, right? You can't find any modern day fragrance, meaning anything released from 2000 onwards, that can hold a candle to this classic, right? This legend from 1912. It's really deserving of its legendary status, because it is just so indescribably uplifting, complex and evocative, right? With a dark undertone, right? After all, it was named after the hour before the earth gave in to nighttime, and it was perfect because it was released just before the world was plunged into the darkness of World War One. So it is from that time, and it has really a great story behind it. And I really advise and urge you, if you have never tried this, to really give it a shot. Really, really good, right? So that's all I have to share with you tonight, and I hope that you enjoyed my video. Thank you for watching.